Born and raised here in Fayetteville, North Carolina. My name is Leslie Rye. I'm 30 now. Growing up, it was just kind of a toxic home, a lot of abuse, a lot of addiction. I was raised in a single mother, single family home. My mother was very opposite of my father though, like very strict, stern, kind of box squared in a way, but she worked real hard, 3-4 jobs like at a time. Now my dad, on the other hand, opposite of it. He struggled with addiction, alcoholism, in and out of work, abuse with me, mainly other than my other siblings. I had a really troubled relationship with my mother. Still to this day. It's very touchy on that because of the things that I went through. My mom was putting me in and out of the home. I was emancipated at 15, and I kind of just, from 15, just kind of really took off. I started dancing when I was like 17. I used my sister's ID actually getting in there from the age of 12. You know, I gotta pay bills, I gotta take care of myself. I gotta live, I gotta survive. During that time, I didn't have places to live, like transportation like that. I got a car, bought it from my best friend. She was killed, and that was her vehicle. That was all I had left of her. And my mom took that, sold that car. So I was just kind of like relying on people from the clubs, like places to go, transportation to get back and forth. I had met this one guy in the club I was working with out there. He was there all the time, every night. Like all the people in there knew him, like the bouncers and all. Everybody made him just seem like a good person, like a good guy. Like if you need help, you could go, whatever. You can hit him up, kind of thing. So she was like, well, we got a place, we got a room, we can rent out to you, no problem. You know, we can come to pick you up tonight and everything too once you get your things together. So she was like, you know, we're staying here with him, this is his place, but it's like 5 bedrooms, there's a whole extra room, like you can have that one. So everybody just kind of was like, you know, he's cool, it's safe, like where are we all? Everybody was like, yeah, I stayed there before, but kind of like none of these girls ever really stayed there. It was more so like he's paid the bouncers in there, some of the bouncers, even some of the other dancers in there that knew what he had going on, but just was like, you know, we'll just recruit girls for you, but we don't want no parts in that kind of thing. So it was like the whole club, even some of the bartenders was all like in a part of this, like with him. Like everybody knew of him, everybody was taken care of, paid off, everybody just played these parts in these roles. So just girls coming in the club knew that don't really know. Nobody knew where I was going. Like I hadn't had contact with my like family, friends from Fayetteville for like years at that point. Friends I did have, everybody was just like, oh, you're a dancer now, or you're this and that. You know, it was just like, we don't want to be a part of that or whatever. So I was just kind of like, who am I going to call to tell them I'm going to this house or I'm going to meet up with this person? It was like nobody. So he takes and he's driving around the city and he's just like, oh, I got to go run and pick up something from my brother. And I was like, well, I mean, can you just drop me off with the girls like first? And he was like, well, I mean, it's right around the corner, so I'd rather just grab that. It's late before going in. When I go in, I want to be in. So I was like, okay, like I understand that. All right. So I rode with him and he gets there and then he's like reading his phone. He's like, oh, you want to come up? Like we're going to smoke or whatever. I was like, no, I'm cool. Like I'm tired. It's late. Like I'd rather just go put my stuff in and go to bed.
And he's like, all right, well, hold on. Well, come on up here. Just come. Like, it would just be just a second. I just got to get some things, got to get it together. So instead of you just sitting out here in the car, like. So I go in there, and as soon as we get to the floor of the hotel, like, right, I just had a feeling like, just don't go in there. The door opens and it's like pitch black. There's nobody even in there. He pushes me into the room. I was beat. I was raped.
I was tied up and I was thrown into the trunk. And I drove around. I felt like forever, forever. It was probably like an hour though, till we got to some location. I was blindfolded going in. When I got in, the windows was boarded, all shut. There was like 10 locks on the door to the bedroom. Like, so there was no access to the rest of the house. I had no idea where I was. I didn't have my phone anymore. I didn't have anything but one bag. Like, they took all of my other possessions, like my jewelry my grandma gave me, family photos of my dad, my mom, like things that I'll never get back ever again. I sat in that house for 3 months watching him beat all the rest of the girls. There was like 10, 15 girls in the house. We all had to run off of 2 phones every day. We went to the locations. Every phone call we picked up, it was by gunpoint. Every phone call we had to pick up and put on an act in a play. Like, we love what we're doing. Like, this is what we do. Like, there's a whole gun to your head, though. Like, making sure that you say exactly, don't give them any feeling of nervousness, like, type things. Like, don't give any idea to this John that something's wrong. The rooms that we went to were all wired. There was microphones and cameras in the rooms. They knew the conversations that was going on. I remember, like, the first one that I went to, I tried to tell the man. I was trying to whisper it, like, to him. And the man started talking, like, loud, like, what's going on? Like, what are you talking about? They hear the conversation and they come into the room. Like, man doesn't even know what's happening. And he's just like, what the hell, whatever. And I'm just yanked out of the room, like, beat and, like, told, like, don't you ever do that again. We got your ID. We know your address. I know where your mother is, your family. If you ever try to, like, tell them that this is happening or whatever, we will go and kill your family. We will kill you. You see what's going on. Like, you see this. Like, it was just like a fear. And it's just like, all right, I don't want to put my family at risk of things. I don't, like, I see, like, these people are serious. Like, this stuff is happening all the time. Like, girls are coming and going out of the house, missing. Like, it was just things that happening to them. Like, we don't even know whatever happened to them things. So it was like, I just shut up, just did what I had to do. And then just went to bed by myself every night, just thinking of everything that I just kept doing. And it just became a routine, a pattern, like just a way of life. I had to check in with my mom. He was like, call your family after like a month and a half being there. He was like, call your family and let them all know that you've just been out on a binge, on a drug addiction, and you're now coming back to, and you're okay, and you're fine, and don't worry about you. And I'm just like, I don't want to tell my mom, my family that. Like, it was like, you call them and you tell them that, or we're going to kill you. Like, you don't have to worry about talking to them. You haven't even talked to them in over a month or so. Who know? They don't even know what's going on with you. So I called my mom, and they sat there, the guns to my head, like they do when you take calls. And I had to sit there and laugh and talk to my mom like it was nothing wrong. Like, it's a whole family of them. The mom, the sister, the entire family is all involved in this. Watching over the home when he's gone, watching over the girls, getting our items, clothes, things like that. They would take us to the nail salon and
put on a fake in front, like we were all just friends going out for a day brunch thing. And he would pay like the nail techs to just not pay it any mind. It was like his girlfriend there, or the bottom or whatever, she was going to be an attorney, a lawyer, to fix all his cases and everything going on. So it was just like they were so networked into things. It just felt like there's just no getting out of here. She was talking to me and the other girls, and she was like, it's a sting operation. She was like, they picked me up from another, and like an investigator detective picked me up in there. She was like, he came and bailed me out before they could really come back and talk to me more. But so then we're just like, so that means that they might be onto this, they might be watching, and maybe they'll know, like maybe they followed you here or something. Like we're just like hoping maybe this girl's working with them. She can tell them like where we're at or whatever. But nothing happened. Like weeks passed by, and then I had a date I had to go to. And I got up there, and I'm into the room, same room where they would take us to all the time. And I'm sitting there, and I got to get undressed, just basically the whole routine and how it goes. While I'm undressed and all, the cop just lets me know, as he's undressed himself too as well, oh, this is the sting operation, you're under arrest. Like, get on, lay down, give me your hands. And I'm like, hell no. Like, I'm feeling like this is somebody else trying to rape me and beat me or whatever. Like, so I'm screaming, I'm freaking out. Then he cuffs me and all, like, and opens the door up and lets these other normal clothes guys walk into the room. By then, like, I'm freaking out, like, I'm panicking, like, I don't know what's about to happen to me. Like, what else can happen to me now? But it really was a sting operation with it. So he comes running up there, he's got a gun under the trash can into the room and all. He tries to go there to get that, thinking it's a John, trying to just whatever. But it was really the police, so they get him, they arrested him. They put us in the car together though. And while we're back there into the car, he's like, if you don't tell these people that you're my girlfriend and that you've been doing this willingly and that we're together, and don't mention none of the rest of the girls or anything like that. Like, if you say anything else, just know that my people out here are going to go to your moms and are going to go to your family. And if I go down for this and you're a part of it, then they will kill your family. So he was just like, now smile at the cops and just act like we're back here, like as boyfriend and girlfriend kind of thing. Like, it was such a fog of like, what do I think? What do I do? Like, just a numb feeling of just not even being yourself, not having a voice, like being so close to being helped and still not even able to get help. So he got out on bond from that. Yeah, he got bond, he got out, and he basically just got to just continue on living normal. He had an operation from Florida all the way to New York. And so from all the way down, he had victims in almost all the states. He had different houses and locations. Different women at the locations that were recruiting other women. He turned it into a modeling agency, that's where he ultimately got caught again in Florida. He's now doing life in prison for human trafficking. His accomplices, the other women that were with him, he had other women beating other women and stuff like that. That kind of grew with him too. Like, it just got bigger and bigger and like worse and worse with him. So the other girls got 15 years, 13 years for their involvement into it as well. One of them actually started out as one of his victims, and she grew into doing it out to other people and other girls, feeling like maybe if I'm under him, this won't be as bad for me, and I won't have to do this like this. And it can be better for me if I'm under him and I do this to the other girls. If I help him do this, then it'll be different for me. They caught him by doing the model agency thing. Another girl that he got out there, he had girls underage, 13, 12, 15, all the way on up to 30 years old. But he had left a card with the girl and met her in the store, left the card with her and told him that he was doing a photo shoot and stuff and had invited her out to the shoot. Had the other girls contact her to tell her the location and all like that. So she let her dad know that she was going out to go do this modeling shoot and never came back. So her dad is the one who ended up looking for her and finding out and figuring it out. And he found the man and went to the authorities. They found other girls in the home, other locations, just other things tying them to just a whole ring operation of them, going all the way up and down state lines. So he definitely got his life in prison with no chance of parole. So, I mean, justice is kind of finally served in that sense with him, but it's a lot of victims with his situation. And that just kind of made me look at it like, this is really bigger than what I'm realizing. I just remember growing up and just thinking human trafficking is just like a child or somebody being snatched out of a store or on a playground or whatever. And no, it can be from 12 to 18 is the average age, of them. It can be all the way up to you, an adult. It goes on everywhere. We were going around town and nobody would notice because nobody thinks to look at these signs and, look for it. We're looking for something and it's so broad. It comes in so many forms, and that's what I've seen, just so many different forms of it and being exposed to it. Then when I got back into the club and that kind of scene, it just opened my eyes to it just made me start feeling like everybody is doing this. This is everywhere. So now when my kids, I'm paranoid everywhere with them. I had 2 little girls because I just know the evil in this world. His family also, members of his family went down for their organization in it as well too, as well as other establishments and things, people that were involved with him, people that he paid off.
That was a big sting.
Yeah, and he had been arrested for years. You don't really know who it could be or anything. They definitely, it's like wolves in sheep clothing. I feel like if you do have that lifestyle, if you are dancing, if you are club hopping, nightclubs, any of that kind of thing, if you do like to party a lot with your friends, go out to different places, bar hop, restaurant hop, any of that, they're everywhere. They're watching everywhere. And it's really no place safe other than you really got to be aware of your surroundings. Just really watch everywhere you go. Pay attention to faces. Watch for familiar faces. I know, like I said, I seen him months. For months, he was watching grooming. A lot of girls don't realize what grooming is too. Some people will get you and make you feel safe, comfortable, make you feel you're protected, you're okay, the rest of the world just can't touch you. And then all of a sudden one morning, it's totally different. That's called grooming. Pay attention to their friends, their family, their movements, what they do. Even if it hasn't got to that kind of level with them, if you notice what's going on with them, then you can kind of know and foresee what is going to go on in your future with them. Also, just don't be so trusting to any and everybody, especially in a club scene and things like that. I jumped in there very young and just head first dived in. I didn't have a support system of people with me. I feel like definitely if you're starting in it or anything like that, if you're not familiar with your environment, bring people with you. Don't go alone. Have somebody sitting there with you and just kind of watch over you as well. Like, so then also you're not tempted to leave with somebody else, go home with somebody else. Like, don't leave the clubs with people. Don't go home with them. Like, as much as people will say it's okay, you don't know. So unless you really know these people, like, don't just take somebody's word for it.